YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, and it's time for another Throwback Thursday, and this time I decided to come back to Shogun 2. By popular request, it seems that a lot of you wanted me to visit this again. I didn't have time to get into any online battles, so I can do that, and all of my old save games from my campaign were on my old computer, so I don't have any campaigns ready to go on here, but if I play some, I might just jump into a campaign that I'm most of the way through and just show you some footage from time to time, and I could do that on other games as well. But I decided that we could do another historical battle, but this time in the Fall of the Samurai era, I mean. Let's make sure my graphics settings are set up. It keeps reverting my graphics settings every time I start the game. That's weird. Well, sorry. Give me just a moment. Just apply it back over to the 1920 by 1080. No idea why it's doing that. Maybe the debug camera, come to think of it. Because I think that screws with my script file. Yeah, I'm going to need to go back and change that. I'll have to figure it out. Yeah, because I went in and did the debug camera. I probably don't need to do the debug camera. Oh. Anyway, sorry about this little detour, but in any case, yeah, I've never really played the historical battles too much. Didn't ever put a whole lot of time into it, which is probably unfortunate because some of them are kind of fun. And so let's see how Toba Fushimi plays out. It says, following intrigues by Satsuma and Choshu domains, Tokugawa Yoshinobu, the shogun, sent his army to Kyoto to report to the emperor to remove radicals from the imperial court. As his army approached Kyoto, a Satsuma force blocked the way. So let us go join and see what happens. And I am not sure if we're going to be playing as the shogunate troops or as the Satsuma force. Hopefully Satsuma. Be fun. We'll see. This is an interesting time period to go look into. I don't know a whole bunch about the Boshin War area, or the I don't even know how to say it. Meiji, yeah, however you pronounce it, Meiji Restoration, or if that's what it's called. I've only kind of briefly heard it. I don't know much about it. It is interesting though because there's a mix of warfare styles.
After the Battle of Sekigahara, the Tokugawa shogunate dominated Japan. Those who fought Tokugawa Ieyasu became the Tozama, the outsiders. Disgraced, the Tozama daimyo and their descendants were forever excluded from positions of power. Instead, they looked abroad, prospering through commerce with China and the West. Threatened by the newly wealthy Tozama, Tokugawa Ieyasu, grandson of Ieyasu, closed the ports of Japan, banning all foreign trades. For over 200 years, Japan remained isolated. With no enemies, the power of the shogunate waned. Then in 1853, a fleet of American warships forced open the ports of Japan. The shogun was humiliated. Revolutionary ideas and machines from the West began to flood the country. Where the shogun's position weakened, his enemies began to circle. The Tozama daimyo, even the emperor himself, see the chance to bring down the Tokugawa and rule Japan.
That's a pretty cool intro. Never seen that before. That was slick. Alright, let's get this started.
It is a time of great political tension in Japan.
A lot of
The
popping
Tokugawa
trees.
shogunate is in turmoil. The Satsuma and Choshu clans have rallied to the emperor in a bid to restore his power. Their troops mass in the imperial capital, Kyoto, in an effort to intimidate the political classes. They are led by Saigo Takamori, a samurai from Satsuma province. Respected throughout Japan for his honor and integrity, Takamori believes passionately in the emperor's cause. He is prepared to fight to see the Emperor restored to political prominence as in former days. He stretches the patience of the Shogun, and now it has snapped. From his base in Osaka Castle, Shogun Tokugawa Yoshinobu has sent a letter to the Emperor's court detailing Takamori's treachery. To ensure that the letter reaches the Emperor, Yoshinobu has sent his army to deliver it. Saigo Takamori has no intention of letting the Shogun's army reach Kyoto. He has blocked the road at Toba and Fushimi. And so, war has come. Your task is to prevent the Shogunate army from reaching Kyoto.
Sweet. I was hoping I'd get to command the Imperials.
Our orders are to prevent them reaching Kyoto to the northwest. Block their exit from the battlefield.
Okay. Oh, that's gonna be the camera. Okay, let's see where they're coming from. So the Shogunate troops, starting way over here. I gotta keep my general alive. Let's see, they got some spear levy. They have some levy infantry. Shogatai. And apparently the arrows on the map are the escape routes to Kyoto that we have to guard. And let's see, Saber Cav, Revolver Cav, Yariki, Saber Cav, Shogatai. Levy infantry, some line, and some more Shogatai. Alright, well, I just have to keep them from reaching. You would think that means that they're marching forward. But they do not appear to be. Actually, a few of them are. So, let's see. I don't have much by way of cavalry, but I do have some Armstrong guns. Let us bring these guns up to sit across the river. And let's get our line infantry. Not sure exactly how I want to line up. They might be trying to make it. Here, I'm going to follow this, see if it doesn't lead to an arrow so they can't get out there. Okay, let's go ahead and bring some lines across. And I'm going to keep my general well clear of the fight, because it said that I have to keep him alive. Okay. Let's bring these guys up over here. Man, I've only got one Yari key to my name. Alright, well, let's kind of watch what happens here. I've never played this battle, so I'm just honestly not sure exactly what to expect. These Katana Kachi, Spear Levy, and Levy Infantry are headed towards my men. And to be quite honest, this ought to be a pretty easy win for me. I'm going to unlimber this artillery. I am going to take it off fire at will so I can control it. I'm not sure what this Katana Kachi is doing. I guess it's going to walk through the water rather than use the bridge. Let's use this Armstrong gun to go ahead and hit this Katana Kachi with a couple of rounds. I don't want to use all my ammo, though. And let's watch the up-close effects of the Armstrong gun. It ought to be pretty impressive. Oop, wrong button there. Actually, wasn't a real good hit. I'm gonna actually halt the Armstrong gun. And then, some of the enemy troops are getting fairly close to me over here, actually. hear my guys firing away at this Katanakachi. I should be able to take them. And I will. Whoa. I have enemy spear levy bearing down on my men right here. I'm going to need to keep my Armstrong gun safe and get into this spear levy with some of my melee troops. I'm just going to do some shoot and retreat here with my line infantry. And hopefully let my Katanakachi catch these guys. I have a Kihatai unit here that I didn't recognize before. I'm going to run my men into a better position. My Katanakachi are now catching those spear levy. And I hear my men firing away over here. Let's make sure that I didn't get caught in melee too bad. No, there's just a spear levy here. Let's take it out and remove my line infantry. And there's a levy infantry here shooting at me, but should be good to go. My men will destroy it. So I'm just going to let them shoot it out. I'm going to take my Yarikachi into those infantry. And my Katanakachi are cutting down those spear levy. Good. So the initial skirmish is a little bit sloppy on my part, but turns out well. Get some more white bears here. And I'm getting flanking fire into these levy infantry, so we're going to break them. And it looks like our initial efforts here are going to be successful. Let's get our Armstrong guns into a position to fire over here. Let's see what we got. Spear levy inbound. Looks like the AI is inbounding its units kind of one by one. So for all of those of you who are convinced that convinced that Rome 2 is the only Total War game with bad AI, which I probably just tipped off a controversy just by mentioning it, but clearly that's not the case. And the only reason I say that is because lots of people give Rome 2 a really hard time. And in some ways, that's deserved. But some people seem to forget that Rome 2 has changed a lot since the game's released. And it is a fine game. And I'm not trying to say that Shogun 2 is a bad game. Shogun 2 is an excellent game. I love it. Just trying to say, you know, hey, just saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying. Let's keep things going before I tip things off to a breaking point. I'm just going to get a line set up here so that if their men try and cross the river that they'll get shot to bits. And I'm going to save my Armstrong gun ammo for maybe when the enemy cav approaches. I've got my Kihatai here with my line infantry. Let's spread these guys out to where they can do some damage. And then get my Katanakachi and my Yarikachi ready to back things up. Okay, there we go. Looks like the got some more troops approaching me here. Got a Yarikachi coming in. I'm gonna countercharge it with my Katanakachi. Pull my line infantry to safety. Behind it there's a levy infantry, so I'll get my line infantry line back up here. And there's another spear levy incoming as well. Over here, what do I have? A spear levy. We'll just kite it out. But my Katanakachi ought to do fairly well against the Yarikachi. And then this line infantry can engage this levy infantry. Okay, that Yarikachi's wavering. Let's go look over here. Enemy troops are crossing the river. My Kihatai are doing a great deal of damage here. Their guys are going to get slowed down across the river. Those are Shogatai. Let's pull my elite my good infantry back here, my line infantry, and finish this thing in melee. Those Shogatai are still going to be trouble, so I'm going to keep an eye on them. And there's a Yarikachi bearing down on my line infantry over here, which is bad. I'll just let my men. I'll drop suppression fire real quick so that if I get this next volley, we can demoralize these guys. I was hoping it would rout them. They wavered but did not break. And that Shogatai is going to be a rough fight, but I do have them pretty badly out. Oh, crap. Cav coming in on my flank. Fortunately, it was into my line infantry and not my Kihitai. I'll put this Kihitai in a position to support, and there's more Cav coming across the bridge. It's a general's bodyguard. We should be able to handle it just fine. I'm going to bring this other line infantry back to kind of set up a ladder. There's a levy infantry coming. Oh, no, no, no. The Shogatai, wow. They got it into Bonsai, and this thing is just going to town here. It's actually looking like it's trying to equal out the fight with my line infantry. My Yarikachi's engaged with the levy infantry. I hit the Shogatai in the back, and its Bonsai is now going away. Let's make sure that this fight is all clear still. No worry over there at the moment. And let's see, let's get my Katana Kachi over here into these Saber Cav. Saber Cavs making a run for my Kihitai, which is really bad. But the Saber Cav's gonna get pretty beat up. Takes quite a few losses, and I'm chasing it with my Katana Kachi to try and finish it. And over here, there's a general duking it out with my line infantry head-to-head. So it looks like the enemy general's right here, shooting it out with my men. It is just a levy infantry. Let's get the Katana Kachi behind. I got this other line infantry back here supporting, so we're in good shape. Yeah, check these guys out, getting lots of sweet shots on that enemy general. You gotta love that over-animated Shogun 2 blood. Some good stuff. That general's gotten quite a few kills, especially considering he's just standing in the face of infantry. I'm guessing the enemy general is about to die. Well, the enemy general is dead, which means we should be in good shape for the remainder of this fight. Let's reposition our men. We took a pretty savage beating from that last wave. I'm just going to reset my men. I want my Kihitai back up front, which managed to stay mostly intact. And there we go. I'm going to, at this point, unlimber my Armstrong guns. And let's see. There's more troops approaching us here. So I'm going to go ahead and put my Armstrong gun into fire at will. Let them use their ammo at this point in the battle, because it's getting fairly late in the battle. Let's watch. Oh yeah, here's my Armstrong gun shooting over here at this... Oh, freak! Revolver Cav. Yeah. Revolver Cav could be an issue. Hopefully my line infantry's up to the charge here. Put on suppressive fire. And my artillery hit it at the same time. Oh, brutalized that Revolver Cav, which the AI charged right into combat, but then it retreated. There is an incoming Yariki attack, though. And that Yariki attack is going to connect. I'm going to fight it back with my Katana Kachi. And there's another enemy general approaching head-on. Bonsai charge. Looks like it's pretty much going to be cut down. I'll counter it with my Yariki here. And I'm just going to let my men shoot it out. I'm going to move this line infantry up here and move this one back here. And move this one back here. That Yariki is going to mess me up a little, but should be able to hold it off. And we're all safe on this front for the moment. My artillery is still putting down a steady stream of fire, which is good. And I'm going to go ahead and kite back here. Put these guys here, and let's take up my Katana Kachi. Basically just kind of falling back to better positions of fire progressively here. Try and lure the enemy infantry through as much fire. Oh, that's a Shoga type. spear levy there, so no worry. And let's get these katana kachi into that levy infantry. And basically I'm going to run away from the Shogatai and shoot them in the back with my other line infantry. And I can charge it actually with this Yari key too. Yeah, you can see me shooting it in the back, and then I'm going to charge it from behind with this Yari key. And I'll keep running away from the Shogatai. Yeah, so now the Shogatai is caught up with my Yari key. This will give me the chance to turn around and shoot it with my line infantry as well and finish it off. Shogatai is not going to do... Well, it's going to do pretty well. Actually, do better than I want it to. And let's see how my men did over here. Oh, got another Shogatai into my my Kihatai unit. I'm going to rapid advance my Yarikachi forward and try and finish the Shogatai off that way, and I'll come around behind it. Try and take shots in from the flank. I'm going to lose quite a few men in my elite line infantry. The Kihatai is I believe it's a breech loading rifle unit. But I've got the Shogatai fixed from the front with my Yarikachi, and we'll take them from behind with the Katana Kachi. These guys are strong though, so I definitely expect a fight out of them. They're pretty impressive sword units. So beautiful. Okay, my Kihatai have successfully fallen back. Over here there's a spear levy into my White Bear infantry. Not the best situation, but it'll be alright. Let's go recheck this flank here. Yeah, it looks like we're all good, all set. The last bits of enemy infantry are still way back across the river. There is another levy infantry pushing forward. Shogatai is going to get routed. And let's take our melee units into this levy infantry and kind of watch the charge. It ought to be pretty cool. I'll go into more cinematic view since I've been managing the battle. Guys trying to cross the river, watching their elite infantry rout in their face while being charged downhill by elite samurai troops. It's probably not what they wanted to see. And a brutal fight is going to ensue here. Lots of blood squirting. Surprised the river hasn't turned red. But that's pretty much it. Sweet.
Daylight is failing, and the enemy are setting up camp nearby. Let us do likewise.
Cool. There's a whole second day to the battle.
The Shogun's army has been thrown back after a day of heavy fighting.
And they put some work into this one.
A significant force, and now his sword is fully drawn. There is no pretense of anything but open battle. However, the victory of the Choshu and Satsuma forces has brought political gains overnight. They now have support from nearby Kyoto, including from the emperor's relatives. Saigo Takamori and his allies are united under the imperial banner. The shogunate army now see that they defy the will of the emperor. Drive them from the battlefield.
It would be my pleasure. That's kind of cool how the battle starts out right there.
Fly the imperial banner. Our enemy lose the will to fight. Crush them.
Sweet. Cool stuff. Alright, let's see what units I have real quick. Oh, got some imperial infantry. These guys are pretty sweet. And let's see what I got. White bear, black bears. Ooh, Kihatai. I'm gonna put some of my more elite shooting units up front. And then I'm gonna put my standard line infantry and levy infantry to the rear. And then to the rear of all... Oh man, sweet. I got 2 Kyoto police units. That's awesome. basically just get all my troops brought together here. And get into an organized fashion. Looks like we're supposed to defeat the remaining imperial troops. Check it out, they got some matchlock Kachi here. They're going old school on me. Old school. Do you have some revolver cap? Looks like their forces are pretty insubstantial at this point, though. I'm sure that my Armstrong guns could beat them pretty bad. Let's take a look at the terrain and pick some... This looks like good terrain to fight on right up here. I mean, there's good lines of sight. I could fire from the woods. So let's take my my main force. And let's push forward to capture this excellent ground. And let's send my Kyoto police to support this effort. And what I'll do is take my line infantry and pull up this flank down here. And let's support them with my Katana Kachi and Yari Kachi. And I don't have much of a cav force left. I'm just going to keep it safe back here. Alright. Looks like the shogunate troops are considering whether or not they want to cross the river. Got some weird AI decision making going on here. They still got Shogatai and Spear Levy. Quite a lot of Spear Levy. Line Infantry. Levy Infantry. General's Bodyguard. I don't see any units really capable of dealing with my men, so honestly this is going to be a slaughter. I'm going to fast forward, get my men in position, get my Armstrong guns in position. If I were in range right now, my Armstrong guns would be having a field day with that blob of troops crossing the river. The ground's pretty good for a fight all the way up through here. Golly, Armstrong guns are slow. I do have some cav on my flank over here, a carbine cav and a Yari key. That's going to have to be something to be very aware of. Basically what I'll do is get one of my line units turned to face, keep a Kyoto police in position to support. And we should be safe. I'm going to get my Armstrong guns up here to do some work on these forces. Let's go ahead and fast forward just a smidge more so I can get my Armstrong gun out of the forest. I don't want it to hit its shells on the trees right in front of me. Alright, so let's unlimber. Oh yeah, look at this beautiful blob. This blob right here is just asking to be shot with Armstrong guns. And they are very much almost in range. Yep, my Armstrong guns are going to open fire. Let's watch this. It is still at a pretty great range, but ought to be pretty brutal. Oh, they're actually firing at a cav unit that's gotten ahead of itself. Oh, they're going to be feeling that. The cav unit just went hidden, though, I think. And now it's firing at the cav that's crossing the river over here. Ooh. Brutal. Armstrong guns are insane. Insanely effective, that is. Poor horsey. Oh my gosh. This almost makes me feel sorry for these guys, especially with what's about to happen here. But almost, not quite. Oh. Yep, and there comes the line infantry behind him. So that was a doomed cause for certain. We'll just keep watching the damage that my Armstrong guns are able to cause. So now they're opening fire on this, looks like a saber cav. Good grief. Hey, what was that people were saying about the Shogun 2 AI again? No, obviously I'm just giving you a hard time. This game's beautiful. I wouldn't be showing if it wasn't beautiful and fun. But, you know, I do think it's funny. Wow, that was brutal. I mean, thought I saw like little bones and stuff in that one. Ouch. Yeah, these shogunate forces are all going to be living a pretty short life today. Armstrong guns still have a lot of ammunition, too. I don't have line of sight on this cav anymore, at least an angle. My Armstrong guns don't have an angle. And these guys are not going to find any way to outflank my forces. I have a very superior position here. And let's see, so my Armstrong gun's going to open fire on this carbine cav, which is actually a pretty helpful unit. The AI is not going to use it in such a helpful way, though. It'll fire at my men. There it goes. But it's going to get cut down by my line infantry. Yep. That's the end of that. So now my Armstrong guns are probably going to find the new target in this infantry. They actually, yeah, there they go. Wow, this is going to be brutal. I mean, look at all this infantry. Just bunched up into an absolute Armstrong death zone here. So, I'll make sure to give you a full view of it. I didn't put my artillery in the best position since it's behind that hill. It's going to lose its arc of fire somewhat soon. Oh, that is just brutal. What troops do they have here? More spear levy. Here's their matchlock Kachi. Spear levy's now taken it from my line infantry. Okay, I guess I should probably control my line infantry at this point. I'm going to drop suppression fire on my imperial infantry there. And I'm going to countercharge them with my Kyoto police. If they get too close, which right now they haven't. Right now the enemy are just getting ripped to pieces by my my men. I'm going to seal the deal and pull my line infantry up on their flank. Okay, I'm going to retreat here, where they're going to actually connect with my infantry. And I'll replace my line infantry with this Kyoto police. Wow. Shogunate troops are just absolutely eating it right now. My Kyoto police have now engaged this Shogutai. They're not real well suited to that kind of fight, though. They only have 11 melee attack. But by the time that Shogutai blows through them, my line infantry will just finish them off. And now the trap is complete. All my line infantry is on the enemy flank. And although they're going to rip through me in a couple of spots, it'll get contained. There's two spear levy fighting my imperial infantry here. Enemy general just got destroyed, and my line infantry is now opening fire into the flanks of the enemy line infantry, which the AI hasn't done a very good job of forming a line with. Kind of defeats the purpose of line infantry, one would think. Yeah, these guys are finished. Artillery's open fire once again. Kyoto police. I'm going to send them into this line infantry. For the Emperor, men, for the Emperor. Sweet. That was a cool battle. Looked cool. Wasn't all that hard to win, but certainly looked cool and had a cool story to it.
Maneuvering and military tension have become full-scale war. Saigo Takamori has won a great victory in the Emperor's name.
I'll get a picture of Takamori there.
Are in full retreat to Osaka Castle, the seat of the Shogun himself.
Well, it sounds like next time we need to do the Battle of Osaka Castle.
Give chase, and the war goes on.
Now that was fun. Well done as far as the cinematics and the story. That was actually really beautiful. I've never played that before. That's impressive. Very neat. I love the historical battles when they have like an opening scene or a setup or something. That's really nice. In fact, I mean, I would honestly like expansion packs of historical battles, like in sync with kind of like what they did on the original Rome with the Alexander expansion. That's kind of neat. Clearly, they've done it here too. That's something that I actually really enjoy. Need to finish the ones on Napoleon too. AI is a little bit atrocious in these things, but if you can put up with it, it actually creates for some pretty fun action, in my opinion. So let's take a look there. Overwhelming victory for the Imperial forces. And good grief, those white bears took home their share. Yorikachi, Keitai. Wow. Brutal. I would have thought my Armstrong guns did kill quite a bit. 270 for one of them. And the other one at 235. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this historical battle of the one of Toba Fushimi.
Diplomacy is now
And-
no more than clouds on the wind. Civil war engulfs the land.
Wow, there's even more here.
The forces loyal to the Tokugawa shogunate have been pushed back to Osaka Castle. The Satsuma and Choshu clans, led by Saigo Takamori, march on Osaka, ready for battle.
Cool. It leads you into the next battle, and I suppose you unlock the others as you go through it. So maybe I'll play through this for you all throughout some of these Throwback Thursdays. Like I said, HeirofCarthage signing off for now. Enjoy it, folks. Have a nice day, and I will see you tomorrow back on some Total War Rome 2.